let's learn a little something about fucking Voldo. It seems every time I play this character, I've just forgotten everything that I learned about it. Despite that, we did our best. This was a set that I played with Karl. Lasted, I don't know, 14 games. It was close enough to 50-50. But the whole middle chunk of this set was pretty much just me fucking up the frames of Voldo attacks. And just either trying to mash when it wasn't allowed, trying to move when it wasn't allowed, something like that. I'm getting counter hit a bunch at the very beginning here, just because I don't remember how much range he actually has. Luckily, Voldo is a character that you can hit with 99k. There are some characters out there nowadays that you just can't counter hit with 99k anymore. Setsuka's one of them. You cannot counter hit Setsuka with 99k as Mitsu. It's just not allowed. You'll get it maybe 1% of the time, just because all of her frames or all of her attacks, just for no reason, have like 2 counter hit frames and that's it. But be that as it is, we get a couple 50-50s that Karl just guessed wrong on, got hit by a couple back throws, and that was game 1. At the beginning here, and at the end, I think, was just pretty much me either getting good guesses on ring outs or something. 3A, 1, yep, there I go. Oh man, I really wish you couldn't just step immediately out of Mitsu 3A counter hit, but you can. It's plus 10, but you can step at like negative frame. It's weird. It's just weird. Like the only vertical you're guaranteed off of a 3A counter hit is an I-14, I believe. Got a little ambitious with that CE. Got a decent punish. Could have been more, but I hate doing the 236A AAB and Soul Charge off the 3B launch because it feels so inconsistent to me. Not only is that combo inconsistent off of a better launcher like 22BB and Soul Charge, but you can easily fuck up the timing when you do it from 3BB. And then very end there, I had already whiffed BB, and this was just a moment where I accepted that, hey, I probably just got punished. And at that point, if I had guarded immediately after the BB, I still would have been punished. So there was no reason for me to not throw out the final B, because the system might just say, hey, fuck you, Karl, and it did, and I won, because I just mashed the final B. So it's little things like that, where you just kind of have to let Jesus take the wheel and see if let Okubo take the wheel. Damn, that was almost perfect. Whiff into GI, which is something I do probably too often. It certainly doesn't work as often as I would like it to. But, hey, what are you going to do? See, perfect example. Oh, I must have been late on that punish there. Or the combo, rather, not punish. You can actually counter hit Voldo with 99k, which is great, because I love 99k. It's still one of my favorite moves. I really need to lab that sort of jumping flail attack that he just did. I don't think I had a good answer to it. And there's Karl being a little old, not reacting to the unblockable there. But what are you gonna do? Maybe he sneezed. I don't know. That approach that was the Hori kick. I found out not too long ago that's actually a high. If I'm really on my shit and really ready for that move, I can probably 1A it. That's something I'm gonna have to lab as well. We're just poking, and, you know, I went in with something wildly predictable and unsafe, and he just said, hey, tech crouch, and it worked. It was definitely the right call by him. I was late on the punish there. Yikes. Okay, another throw. Go for the 1A pseudo mix-up. You can interrupt off 1A off of the throws there. But it's a decent enough mix-up. I fucked the wall combo there, or I just got greedy and wanted the reset for the forward throw, which wall splats, and that would have killed. So that's probably what I was going for. Either that, or it would have been a happy accident if it happened. Either way, we're gonna soul charge out of that. Not a huge fan of the 3B there. The 3B guarantees that he's going to be away from me. I probably should have just done a 2B to maintain frames, but keep him closer to me. That'll kill. Yeah. And it certainly isn't. Life is not easy. But I'm not gonna see a whole lot of what's tripping me up yet in these first few games because I won the first few games, which means I didn't get tripped up. But I know the whole middle portion of our set was just loss after loss. So I'm recording the whole thing for posterity and because I enjoy watching these things while I work. But I did include a little bit of new tech that I've been working on for Mitsu in this set. Not as much as I would have liked, but you know, it had a little bit in there. And the point of this is because I realized one of the greatest advantages that I have when playing Taki is that my opponent has no idea what to expect because I could just be pushing anything. She's got so many strings that you can use so interchangeably, and they all have mix-ups, and it's all wonderful and great and everything. And if you don't tech, the 1A there is guaranteed off the relic B. There are two ways to get out of it. If you back tech, you just don't even get hit by it. But if you tech to the side, then it's the 1A is a force block. Something to keep in mind because all of these will be tip hits, which means it's realistically close enough to being safe. I didn't commit to the first 4KB because I have been burned trying to go for that 4KB at the ring edge so many times. Luckily, he GI'd right after, which just gave me an easy whiff punish to ring him out. That hits behind him. You gotta be aware of that. I don't know if it also hits to the side of him. It looks like it shouldn't, but it probably does. And that I just didn't know that last hit existed, so I hit a button and got fucked for it. What are you gonna do? Tried to step, didn't work, didn't duck the unblockable. I know that's a high, I just didn't react in time. Poorly done. Yep. He teched to the side, but he did not block low, which meant the 1A got to connect. So I definitely think off of every Relic B, it's worth doing, which is something, you know, I don't see. Not only do I not see people do it, but I haven't done it because I just didn't know. I didn't even think about it. I didn't even consider it. I've been labbing Mitsu a lot in the last couple weeks, and I mentioned very briefly here about new tech, and that was one of the things is you can just pretty safely just go for 1A off of a Relic B hit, and you are either gonna get an extra chunk of damage, or you're gonna get guard damage. And it's pretty safe because it's even if you Kemi to the side and block it, Mitsu is technically minus 14, but it's not really something that you can punish. Even Mitsu himself, he's got a very long CE, and one of the things you do in the mirror is you punish a blocked 1A with a CE, but the CE doesn't reach. It just doesn't, which means a lot of CEs are not going to reach. I don't know if Raphael is an I-14 CE, but if it is, then he could probably reach. Aside from that, I'm not too sure. Going for the more reliable combo, just because. I fucked up the just frame, so I didn't get the kill there, and I've got to poke him one more time, and I do. That at the very end there, I was relying on the fact that I know Karl doesn't react to certain things very quickly. So I just said, hey, I'll dance around him in SC6 Ai, which eventually worked. Now Voldo definitely has a ton of counter hit frames on his moves, which means 99K actually works. B. Okay. Got him a little bit there. I know that Karl knows that transition because later in this set he would just 2A me out of it, which is what you should do. If ever Mitsu lands a missed BB as part of a combo on you, he ends at -2, so it is your turn. And a lot of people just let Mitsu get away with, and there's that extra bit of damage I was talking about off the 1A from the Relic B. A lot of people just let Mitsu get away with missed BB, and they just let him have another turn. And there's no reason to let him have another turn there. A lot of people just statue block, and accept a 50-50 for no reason. It was definitely not something you want to do. And there, I fucked up Soul Charge. He was too far away to get hit by the burst, and I just guessed wrong on a throw versus mid mix-up, which is generally what people do after a whiffed Soul Charge. Now I think that right there that he just did, I think that's -14. I'm not sure. A wasn't close enough to connect, but it looked like I had the frames for it because he went to do some stance stuff. Really lucky that connected despite the wall hit. One of the things you see Karl doing is after a 99K counter hit, he's teching. You definitely do not want to tech that. You just take like an extra 12, 15 some damage for teching. There's just no reason to do it. And I think this game on is when Karl just started annihilating me. So I gotta really pay attention now, see what's going on. What do we got? Big brown start. Really big round start. GI'd out of pressure. That's a decent choice when I go for the transition into Mist off of that combo, which hilariously, because they've neutered that combo so much, the Mist transition off of it only does 1 less damage. That's literally it. The 3B lethal hit combo, if you end with 4-4-BA into Mist, you do 1 less damage. That's it. Another attempt at a reset on the wall, which is pretty much what I've resigned myself to doing with Mitsu on the wall. It's just resets, because his actual just straight up wall damage is not great. It's only off of like a very specific circumstance does he have decent wall damage. Otherwise, you're coming away with 75 to 80, and that's it. When other characters are just chucking out 145 for some fucking reason. I don't know why, but they are. I think he's plus there, which is why I didn't push. But I'm showing a lot of unfamiliarity. Showing a lot of unfamiliarity just out of nowhere against Voldo. And I think one of the problems here, one of the reasons he started just running away with this shit was because I stopped doing so many 2A challenges, which maybe I just have to do. Maybe that's a Karl specific counterplay. Maybe that's actual matchup counterplay. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look into it. I'm specifically looking for transitions here in this set where I just get counter hit because I wasn't ready. Doing a lot of small jabs, getting hit by 2-2A. That's probably punishable. I didn't punish it though. And I think I realized that, which is why I've done so many 2A in this so many 2As in this first match already. And that worked. I hit a lot of small buttons in that round, like almost exclusively small buttons, and it worked. Really thought he was gonna GI. Karl really likes to GI. There it is. But yeah, the whole reason, I don't think I explained this fully a while ago. Good stagger there he had. You can't soul charge there. Whatever that was, pay attention to it. You cannot soul charge there. But the reason why I've been doing a lot of Mitsu labbing is I realized that pretty much everyone is playing Mitsu the same exact way, with very few exceptions. And the problem with me trying to do that is if I'm just trying to play Mitsu the way someone else, like if I'm trying to play like Skill or Belial or Fourwind or any of these other guys who are good at Mitsu, if I just try to play like them, all I'm gonna end up being is a worse version of them. So I'm finally at the point where I know all of this character's frames, and it's time. I've got, you know, at the very least, an understanding of neutral and how to do certain things. But I think it's finally that point in time where I need to develop my own tack, my own setups with the character. Which is what I've been doing. And it centers, these changes have centered really around combo routes, mostly. Just because the neutral is there, and I couldn't think of a way to just fundamentally remap neutral, so I just decided that the only other thing to do here, or the next predominant thing to do here, would be to adjust combo routes, focusing predominantly on getting extra turns in exchange for little bits of damage. So a lot of the tech that I've come up with here, or borrowed, involves sacrificing 1 to 10 damage on a combo to get another turn, which by the end of the game, that's going to add up to 4 to 40 damage for the cost of, or for the benefit of getting 4 more turns. And I personally think that's very, very well worth it. That little scoot forward AA that he did, I think that's definitely punishable. I didn't recognize it at the time, though. Not that backward swim, but the other backward swim, the one that hits 3 times. I think that is a, this is going to be a whiff punish. Yeah. I think one of the best things to do there is probably step. I know in one of these games, I stepped that transition and then got just like the fattest of lethal hits afterwards. So that's something to remember. But yeah, it's a crying shame that so many people play Mitsurugi in exactly the same way, and I don't think I need to do that. I think that's the antithesis of what I need to do. Still teching the 99K counter hit, which is something you don't want to do. Didn't seem to have frames there. Guessed wrong on the mantis. Yeah, I stepped a few times where I shouldn't have. None of those were, you know, transitional frame problems. God, that throw comes out so quickly. I think stepping right there was a good call. So that was good. Didn't get a huge punish. I think I just got an I-14 for it, which might be the best you can do. Definitely the only thing I had there was soul charge, but then he was in front of me. He was in front of me before the soul charge. I soul charged, and he was behind me. So, I mean, what are you gonna do? That was just the system fucking me right there at the end. That's all that was. If I had hit B plus K instead of, I think, 2B, I probably would have counter hit him. Or at the very least, just been left myself at -12. But I don't think Voldo has a huge I-12 punish. I could be wrong. I could be very wrong. I don't know anything about Voldo's frames or his punishes or anything like that. Because I don't really play against many Voldos, and the only Voldo I really ever get the chance to play here is Karl. And I don't see a ton of punishes out of Karl. It's mostly just neutral, and see, right there, he does know. He does know he's supposed to jab me out of that transition. I absolutely need to take a turn right there. That's probably unsafe. I don't know how unsafe. Oh. Fucked up the just frame there. Oh god, am I dead? I might be dead. Doing some getting away from the ring edge and 99K counter hit. It's so nice to actually play against a character that I can counter hit with 99K. After playing so many games against Giraffe and his Setsuka and just never, ever being able to counter hit with 99K, it's so nice. So nice to be able to. What do we got? Italian backdash. Okay. System helping me out a little bit. Could have killed him right there. It was a very bad punish on the GI. A. We got some other stuff. I think I tried to do a missed 6B, and that's why that didn't work. Oh, you can't backswing blow when you're up against the wall like that. That was absolutely scrub decision by me. Not surprised at all that that didn't work. Oh, and then the range of the 1K feels bad. Voldo buttons. I did a lot of front throws. I never do front throws. And then just in this game, I did almost exclusively front throws, and he broke like all of them. It's just weird. It's just weird to me. Boom, boom, boom. Yep. Pretty much the only thing that's going to reach after that is... Oh, I was really full screen Whiff City. And then I think at the end there, I just kind of hoped that he would push a button. That's really all I had left. Okay, that's safe. Soul Charge, okay. Smaller buttons again. Getting hit. That's gonna connect. Yeah, okay. And do I manage to do something with this or not? I do. He stood there and said, "I bet I can outguess you," and then he didn't outguess me. But yeah, that was I don't know, about 50, 60, 120 frames of us just standing there looking at each other as my soul charge ticked down. And then when I realized he wasn't going to do anything, I just threw out something, and it happened to work. Front throw again. Good spacing from Karl right there. Okay, what's the mix? Got me. I mean, while I was playing this set, I definitely was thinking, wow, there are so many transitions here that I don't understand and just wasn't ready for, but I don't know if I necessarily buy that in the rewatching of it here. A lot of these hits are just neutral hits, honestly. I don't think I'm answering all of the transition situations appropriately, but I don't think I'm doing it like terribly either. You know what I mean? Step to avoid Mantis. Try to go for a little bit of a punish. Could have probably CE'd him twice, both on that Mantis whiff and again with that whiff. Ooh, that shouldn't have missed. I knew he was going to do that. I knew he was going to do that right there, but I had already missed enough punishes in that game that I deserved to lose that round. That's just all there is to it. Gotta always be on your toes. Always, always. Alright, what do we got? What do we got? Stepping Mantis. No whiff punish. Go for the throw because he back turns. God, that throw comes out so fucking quick. I swear to God, it feels like an I-6 throw. It's ridiculous. Front throw again. Good punish. Last couple of times, or at least the very last time when he had been in a 50-50 situation, he blocked low, so I went for 3B that time. He blocked it though. What are you gonna do? So cheap. So cheap. He had a punish there. He didn't take it. Instead, he just went for the slower low, which could have given me the game. It didn't, but what are you gonna do? That was a bit of an awkward soul charge, but it worked for me. It really did. That's all you're gonna get off of that. By a wall, so if he doesn't tech, you get the full B plus KID. Soul charge, probably the best option in that situation. Yep. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really seeing these transitions that I was talking about so much. I think it was just more an overall unfamiliarity with Voldo's frames that I was feeling upon review. Hindsight being what it is. Well, let's see if we can notice any adjustments here. It's still a high. You definitely need to lab that approaching move. Voldos like to use it a lot. I really thought Karl, of all people, would GI right there. After 2 counter hit 3As in a row. Throw is so fast. Doing smaller buttons. I had done big buttons for the last few games, and I had lost probably because of that. We got... Yikes. Is that death? Very nearly. Oh, there we go. And the mix at the very end. Okay. Soul charge, definitely a good idea there. Falls out of the combo. Then I fuck up the combo. Feels bad. But it still ultimately gave me enough damage by the end of it to get him with a guess. I don't think I did anything with this wall splat. Yeah, just a 1A. I could have gotten a 6-6K for a second wall splat into a combo or a reset. of some form, and that would have been optimal. That is something that I already labbed, because when that happened, I was so pissed at myself. I was like, how did you miss that? How in God's name did you miss that? He was clearly gonna hit the wall, but I still fucked it up. And this is just Soul Charge Mantis stuff that I am definitely not prepared for. Soul Charge out. Oh, jeez. Oh, and he just barely gets caught by the 1K. And that's enough to keep me in it. I feel like that single hit that he did there before the low was probably unsafe. Soul Charge runs out, so I don't get the combo. That hurts. Uh-oh. Oh, and he whiffs a GI. The forward momentum there, the forward momentum of Mitsurugi is a lot. Like, this motherfucker can push you across the stage. Once he gets you to the end of the stage, it's a 50-50 between him either ringing you out or ringing himself out, but what are you gonna do? Go for the big I-20 off the round start. It doesn't pay off. Same exact thing. 2 rounds in a row. Same exact thing happens. Like, exactly same thing. Finally did a back throw. And that's why I try to avoid doing 2A very often on Voldo, because he's just got so many evasive moves that sometimes 2A will just whiff even when it looks like he's just standing right there. Kinda going just full ham on this one. Small button into small button, just trying to disrespect every turn. No punish there. Trying to maintain my turn. And then I step. Yep. That was a good step. That was the step that I wanted to see. That's the step I should be doing most of the time. I just went for like Hail Mary guard damage there, and he stood there and statue blocked. A lot of the new combo routes that I implemented focus on dealing guard damage. Because one of the things I noticed is when I'm playing Mitsu, I never break my opponent's guard. Like, ever. It just doesn't happen. His soul charge ate my soul charge right there, which personally I think that's kind of bullshit, but what are you gonna do? In my opinion, it should have just been a dual activation, like you see. It's weird that 6BB worked there. I did not confirm the wall hit because honestly, I should have known that I was close enough to get it, but I don't know, I just didn't. And I'm not sure how plus K-Slide B in Soul Charge is. I know it's at least +2, maybe +4, but it also forces crouch, which adds at the very least mental frames, I guess. And if you know, make the mistake of holding G either sloppily or a little too long or a little too short, then you get like fucked out of your step. So a lot of the times I'll go for K-Slide B as an opener in Soul Charge, just to get some frames so I can do something, you know. Didn't duck. Should have been able to duck that. Still did a slower attack, and I just get auto GI'd for it. Step. There it is. Yep. And there you go. Get Mitsurugi to the ring edge, somebody's getting wrung out. Honestly, that looked good, that 99K. I didn't know, I was hoping I was going to have enough room for the ring out there. It turns out I didn't. I know, transitioning into Relic instead of just doing the missed B spam, actually going into Relic and doing the dive gives you like a tiny bit of extra distance. So that was a good hit confirm, I think, from me. Blocked the 1A, didn't punish. Honestly, there's probably a lot of punishes that I'm not doing, and if I review this video, I'm sure some of them, I'll figure out at least some of them. Fell out of the combo again, man. Fucking Voldo, but easy block punish with the random Karl CE. And I think that's all there was for this set. Yeah, that was it. So I'm definitely going to go back. I'm definitely going to look at specifically a few of those moves that look like they should be punishable and find out if they actually are, as well as stepping on some of these transitions or avoiding highs, like either ducking highs or trying to get a 1A. You always want to try and fit a 1A in if you can, because, I mean, it's 75 damage, so I feel like it used to be a lot more than that. It probably was a lot more than that back before the 6/6 A plus B nerf. But again, what are you going to do? GG's, Karl.